Today we have Kevin on the show, a very athletic blue belt that is always down for a good scrap. He has inside position with both his arms. This provides him unobstructed access to my hips. He shoots and he tries to come around for a rear body lock, but I stop him in his tracks by threatening the Uchimata. My first attempt doesn't work, but I get him down with my second attempt by finishing with a foot trip. However, I don't land with great base, and Kevin tries to use my momentum against me by coming up on top, but I use my grip under his leg and fold his head to rotate him to the ground. Kevin addresses this exactly how he should by immediately building base, meaning he gets to his knees. I don't want him to grab my legs and wrestle me down, so I immediately reposition my legs to his legs. I had to be careful as when I do this, Kevin lifts his knee off the mat and I almost hyperextend his knee, similar to a knee bar. But as always, I'm careful and mindful and everything was fine. In this position where I have a reverse underhook, I could try to roll for the back or enter into the truck, similar to this. But I feel like I'm not going to be able to generate enough momentum, so I switch to the standard seatbelt grip and work towards taking his back while also threatening the rear naked choke. But Kevin does a great job of getting my chest off his back by turning and facing me. It would have been a lot more conservative for Kevin to just accept bottom position here and take half guard. By trying to bridge into me, he had to commit his feet to the ground, rather than committing his feet to my legs for a guard. And I take advantage of this by coming up to mount. This is one thing that Kevin needs to work on. He's very go and aggressive in a good and controlled way. His style works for him and I really enjoy rolling with him because of it, but he needs to work on knowing when to slow down and be a bit more conservative with his choices. He inserts a butterfly hook from half guard and watch how when I backstep, I push his knee with my hips to get his hips better facing away from me. It's much easier to backstep when your opponent's hips aren't facing you. So that's exactly what I prioritize. I continue to prioritize this as I enter into mount. By keeping his hips facing away from me, it made it difficult for him to hook onto me with his feet to control my movement. Here when I enter mount, I get really low with my hips near his knees rather than his hips. This is something I do often to Kevin because his hips are so powerful. He would constantly keep rolling me over when I mount him, so I started going lower with my hips and my weight, because I know that if I can keep his legs straight, he can't push off the mat with his feet and generate power with his hips. I like to use this to tire people out and capitalize on their mistakes as they try to escape. I get a nice wrist ride / Dagestani handcuff on him, but I make a mistake myself as he secures a Kimura grip on me. It's something I need to respect, and in this situation, I'm actively thinking how I want to address this, weighing the risks and rewards to different options I could try. I decide to try and use his Kimura against him and attack his arm. I want to switch who has the Kimura and take one for myself by clasping my hands together and pulling his wrist behind his back. Similar to this. But it slips out and I completely lose it. As I lose it, Kevin senses that his back is exposed and immediately hides his back by positioning it to the mat, and then tries to win the scramble by getting his hips higher than mine. But I win the scramble as I win the battle of hip height. I'm trying to decide what I want to do from here, but Kevin doesn't give me much time to think as he tries to explode out of the position. I'm only able to get my top hook in, so instead of the standard seatbelt grip, I take this cross grip over his shoulder. Now I have cross body control. Both sides of Kevin's body are controlled. This is great for control, but attacks from here are very limited, so I work towards getting my second hook in to free up my arms for attacking.
One of the hardest parts of training consistently isn't motivation, it's discipline with having to make small, boring choices. Everyone wants exciting stuff, new techniques, harder rounds, cool details, but almost no one gets excited about what's in their bottle. And at some point I realized if I'm willing to be disciplined on the mats, then I should be just as disciplined about what I put into my body, especially when it comes to hydration, as sweating drains more than you think, not just water, but the minerals to keep your body strong and your mind sharp. Ignoring that basically basically means leaving performance on the table. That's why I use Element. It's a straightforward, no BS hydration. Zero sugar, no artificial sweeteners, no junk. Just the right amount of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, the right amounts that your body needs. Since I started drinking Element, I noticed that I can train more often and train much better. I'm especially enjoying their chocolate and chocolate caramel flavors. They're perfect for the cooler seasons, as well as their new sparkling cans. They are awesome. And now you can grab a free sample pack with any Element order using my link, so you can try their most popular flavors. Get yours at drinkelement.com/JordanTeaches. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/JordanTeaches.
I do so and attack the armbar from the back, but Kevin's explosive hips serve him well. He's able to rotate himself to top position and pull his arm out. Immediately I frame on his tricep to keep him away from me and make space to re-guard, and in the process I manage to snatch up his neck for the front headlock. I can feel that I don't have the guillotine sunk in well enough, so I'm not going to waste energy trying to finish something that just isn't there. Instead I come up on top and retain the front headlock. I'm thinking how I want to proceed, and my options are basically to attack the choke or get behind the elbows to take the back. I've got an itch in my eye and I go to scratch it, and Kevin takes advantage of my disconnected hands to escape. As we come up, Kevin is in a pretty good position. He's got an underhook and good head position. However, I think he chooses his attack wrong. As he tries to hip throw me, I bump him backwards. The problem is that he attacks without creating or taking advantage of any forward momentum. Forward momentum is really the key to hitting hip throws cleanly. It's very difficult to hit these on a stationary opponent. As I hit the takedown on him, I use a bit too much power and I lose my own footing, so I just accept bottom position. Kevin dives in with a nice pass attempt and is controlling my legs. He should prioritize stopping me from building base, as that's what I'm doing. I'm prioritizing building base. As he tries to start flattening me out, I push his head away to reduce the amount of control that he has over my hips, as he's now further away from my hips. Now he only has my bottom leg, and I'm able to get to my knees. He's still able to wrestle me down, and he's trying to. He has my legs, so I grab his hips to kind of even up the score. This works out in my favor, as I'm able to pull him by his hips over my body. I lose that specific arm configuration, but I keep control of his hips, and grab my own hamstring to really lock his hips down. Now again, it's a battle of hip height, which I win. I immediately step over into mount, and again, stay pretty low to address his hip power. My hips are too far away for him to push off of with his hands, so he pushes on my shoulders. But this just makes it easier for me to pin his wrist and separate his elbow from his body, which is needed for many different submissions from mount. I try for a mounted triangle, but I can't get my hips to his shoulders in time, as Kevin's hip power again proves effective. I lose the triangle, but I have his arm bent, so the natural thing to do is to transition to the omoplata. But Kevin is fighting hard to get his shoulder out of my control. It would have been a much deeper omoplata if I could keep the front of his shoulder on the ground rather than the side of his shoulder. I keep trying to finish anyways, but in the process of him trying to pull his arm out, his neck sinks deeper and deeper into my arm triangle. I don't squeeze right away, as I can tell that I don't have a great choke bite. There's a gap between my inner elbow and his neck. So I stay patient and adjust my arm to take away that gap. And once that gap is gone and I have a good choke bite, I squeeze and get the finish. We start again, and Kevin really times his shot well here, getting underneath my hands before I can react. He takes me down, but I secure the Kimura grip before he can settle. He's trying to rotate his arm to relieve the pressure, but I keep his arm straight and push my forearm into his elbow and push his wrist in the opposite direction to hit a nice straight arm lock. Alright, I hope you liked the video. If you're still here, please leave a comment or a fist bump, and I'll see you guys next time.